JCL stands for the Junior Classical League. We have JCL on the state level and also on the national level. Virginia Junior Classical League has a convention every year, usually the weekend right before Thanksgiving in Richmond, and schools from all over the state of Virginia come. It's a way of taking Latin beyond the classroom and beyond your school. And on the state level, meeting with students from around the state, and on the national level, meeting with students from all over the country who really enjoy doing and studying the same things you like doing, and competing in Latin and talking about Latin and having fun, with the classics. I like to see it is that if you are attending the Virginia Junior Classical League or the National Junior Classical League from Riverbend, it means Latin is really something that you're interested in and something that you're committed to. This is an event where you get to go and expand upon what you already do in Latin Club and share your interest and share your enthusiasm. Well, JCL is open to any Latin student whose school and teacher choose to become chapters. There's even the opportunity for Latin students to join if they don't. You can be a member at large. But if you're in the Latin Club in your school and your school affiliates with the state and national organizations, you're in. And JCL is one of the largest youth organizations in the world.
Like lanyard with your name emblazoned around your chest.
Well, togas. Always togas. And spirit shirts.
For the past several years at the Virginia Junior Classical League, the 20th Legion, which is a reenactment group from Northern Virginia, has come down to convention and have really been popular. They have all sorts of armor and weapons, and they dress up looking like Roman legions of Roman soldiers. And lately they've been bringing with them their reproduction of a Roman calpona. And they also display about Roman life as well about Roman military life. And they let you try on the armor and handle very carefully the weapons and the helmets and things.
We have a banquet each year which has Italian food. The lasagna is great. The cake's better.
The $10 steak and cheese sub at the convention. Grilled cheese, I think, is popular, as are fries.
There are lots of different rites of passages, sort of. It depends who you talk to. The more involved students will say it's a rite of passage to go to a state finals common, or your first states or your first nationals.
Yes. Inday are Freud's Vergnügen Duques.
GA, which is short for General Assembly. Everyone has to go to that.
Discamu sessions, which are these they're sort of like mini lectures where students can go and listen to different things about the ancient world. But yeah, they've been very popular.
JC Love, and that can be real love or romance. And then you've got the Latin chip, which is basically the same thing.
Nominations committee. It's for the officers who want to run for the JCL office. They give a speech. They have to get a nomination from the body, and sometimes it's basically the weeding out process.
Offices are president, first vice president, second vice president, secretary, treasurer, parliamentarian, editor, and historian.
Well, JCL officers have the job of planning conventions and any other activities that they have, that they come up with for the year. The whole idea is that they're the ones who are the face of the JCL. They're the ones that get up on stage and make the announcements and run the show.
You get awards for being the person with the most awards for a certain category. If it's art or history or tests in general. And then you accumulate points from all of these. And so they have awards for the people with the most points from all the different categories.
For social activities, there's a big dance, there's a banquet, karaoke is always popular, and there's all sorts of things. Riverbend was famous for holding gladiatorial contests where we would have bats or pool noodles or something, where students would come and step up and challenge each other as gladiators. And of course there would be set rules where if you were hit multiple times, you would be out or you would be wounded, and your opponent would have, some sort of benefit over you. But there's puzzles, there are crafts and arts activities, there are usually different types of games. A lot of clubs sell t-shirts. Well, testing is quite interesting. If you've never been involved in JCL testing, it really is a sight to behold. We're talking over 1,200 students all clamoring to get into one big, huge room, all to take a test on a variety of subjects. Some students, of course, had prepared for these, and some students are just out for seeing what they can do based upon what they know, and some students are also just there because they sort of have to be. But to see 1,200 students rushing into a room, grabbing a test, and sitting down and starting to bubble away is quite the sight. Well, for oratory, they have Latin oratory, in which you have a speech in which you have to have memorized and present as if you were a Roman orator. There's English oratory, in which the individual students get to write a speech and perform their speech pretty much based upon the theme of the convention. Every convention every year has a theme to it. There's also storytelling and dramatic interpretation and other events where students can excel not necessarily in an academic manner, but can perform. Graphic arts is a really fun activity. Not every student is a scholar, not every student is an A Latin student. There's also the opportunity for the very creative students to submit projects. Sculptures, mosaics, paintings, pictures, drawings. They can make dolls, they can make jewelry. There's a wide variety of different competitions there in which you can participate. It's really interesting at convention to go into the room where they're being judged and to look out across this big, huge open space and see literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of classically inspired pieces of art. It really is fun.
Spirit is this thing that comes from within, but in the VJCL sense, it is a moment when all the schools come together and shout about how great Latin is, about how great their class is, how great the school is. It's a chant, really, of great significance. And people are ranked and rated on their spirit. To have the best spirit beholds a magnificent prize at the end for you. Usually like a huge bouncy ball or a jawbreaker or like sunglasses, but they are the pride and joy and something that we all strive to produce.
Well, spirit on the JCL is really something that takes on a life of its own. At the state convention, the schools are divided up by size and have different times in which to compete. And what it is that each delegation tries to outdo the other delegations in the type of their cheers, the loudness of their cheers, the enthusiasm of their cheers, how well they are working together. And it's a way of just getting excited about Latin, getting excited about convention. On the national level, to see everybody competing in spirit at the same time is just unbelievable. There's this whole wave of spirit that just sort of runs through the gymnasium. And you see 12 to 1,500 students just jumping and cheering and shouting and yelling, all in support of Latin.
Oh, the people. They're all talented and often in different ways. A lot of them are just super sweet and really good at art or really good at something else that I can't do. But they're amazing and props to them.
And it's like a really fun place. You meet new people, but it's like spending time away from school with your school friends, doing what you like, and it's a lot of like friendly competition, and I can't stress the friendly part enough. Like it's one of like the few places where you can go, and it's really about like seeing how well you can do rather than like seeing how well you can like, beat other people. So it's got like a good vibe to it, a good like friendliness to it. It's just like an adventure, right? And it happens every year, so you look forward to it.
Well, my favorite thing about JCL is seeing the students be successful in whatever they're attempting, whether it's academically or oratorically or creatively. It's just an outlet and an opportunity for them to take what they know and run with it.